Hey y'all, welcome back for another episode of Tribe Talk Tuesdays. I am the co-host Kiera, also known as Cookie, the owner of Divinely Her, Healing, Elevating, and Renewing.
Yes, y'all, and it's your girl, Nurse Britt, the founder of Empowerment Fitness and Wellness Center, empowering women all over the world.
Yes, and we have our lovely guest here. If you don't mind telling us your name.
My name is Ibrahim, but most people know me as Iba, and I'm the creator of Diakite Denim.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So our first question that we'd like to start off with is, what does healing look like to you in your own definition?
Healing looks like to me in my own definition. I feel like when it comes to healing, it's about accepting the truth, taking accountability, and understanding that it's going to be okay, and get through the process no matter how long it takes, and depending on the situation. I know every situation is different when it comes to healing, but not always look at yourself as a victim either too in certain situations, let's say like failed friendships and stuff like that. Sometimes stuff happens for a reason, and it's okay with accepting that that's what happened right then and there. Maybe it was only good for this long, and now it's time to move on to what's next.
I know that's right. I think it's so funny, not funny, but we always hear that saying of like, people are in your life for like a season, a reason, and like you said, just accepting that, they were only there for that season. You know what I mean? And that's okay. And that's okay. Even though it does hurt. And I think realizing, so I've been talking, I'm in grief counseling, right? So, but when we talk about grief a lot, grief has so many different stages, right? And what it is that it's talking about a loss. And when you don't have those relationships anymore, even though they were only there for a season, you still go through a stage of grief.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm glad that you said that. That's like, it's going to be okay. It may not be easy, but you're going to get through.
And it's going to hurt for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because especially you're healing from stuff that you cared about, or something that happened to you that really didn't sit well with you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, your feelings are valid.
Yes.
But it's more so always reminding yourself, I'm going to get through this.
Right.
It's just, this is what I'm dealing with at the moment. And you have to go through that in order to overcome it. I think some people like to skip the going through the process. Oh, I'm okay, I'm gonna be good. And then like holding it back. But at the same time, it's really bothering them. And sometimes that could turn into anger,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't like to let stuff bother me for too long. I like to go through the motions, feel it out, and then move on to what's next.
Yes. I love that.
Because it can hold you back sometimes,
It sure can.
It can.
Yes.
And I know for somebody, come on now. I know for somebody like you're always in that creative process.
Yeah.
So how would you say through your healing journey that it's led you to the work that you're doing today?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like this brand I built was based off of me healing.
Okay.
Finding myself, being okay with myself, being confident who I am, and just I'm African. My parents are from Mali. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like being a creative in the African community is not really like a norm for some. They kind of look down at it in the sense of like, oh, like, you want to create art? Like, go be a doctor, go be a lawyer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those jobs or career fields are something that African parents look at as like, that's a big deal. But being an artist are usually looked at like, that's bottom of the barrel, But once they see a scene of money and stuff like that, they're like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. But also they don't understand it because they don't come from a place where that's acceptable or that's like, oh my God, they get praised. And usually people in African communities, well, at least in the country I'm from, most of the creative people are poor people. So it's like I understand why they think like that, but also I feel like I just never had a safe space to fully tap into my creativity and understand who I was as a person. I feel like I didn't start realizing, oh, I'm a creative until my adult years, which kind of bothered me a lot because I feel like I missed out on so many different experiences that I never got a chance to, try because certain expectations that was already set on me to follow.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Me creating this brand definitely allowed me to finally understand who I am as a person, to feel myself and feel free and feel like I have creative control over myself and what I do and my experiences in life, and everything makes sense to me now.
Right.
Because I feel like at one point in time, I felt like I didn't belong. So, and that's because I couldn't really act on my creativeness,
Right.
But when I went to college, all that just started changing. I started participating in African American Society. I was like the vice president in the social chair. I was like hosting fashion shows, creative directing the fashion shows. even putting on the winter ball galas and stuff like that, coming up with the themes and all that stuff.
Is
like
that
that
how
with my
you
friends.
and Yus hooked up?
So me and Yus actually, we linked up. It's funny because at one point in time I was like, all right, I think my first time attempting to be being a creative was like, oh, I want to be a model.
Okay.
And Yusa was the first person
Okay.
that, was like, yeah, come model for me real quick. Like, I got something for you. When I met him, he was like, yeah, you should model. Because I told him I want to model. And then I started doing photo shoots with him.
Yeah.
So then that's how me and you started connecting. We have mutual friends and stuff like that in the Muslim community in Southwest. So that's how we connected. And ever since then, I started modeling for some other people, but I didn't really like it.
Right.
So I started designing later down the line.
Okay.
And then now I'm a creative director, full-time creative director too.
Yes.
So.
Okay. So designing wasn't initially in like what you seen as far as the vision when it came to creating. Okay.
That just happened during the pandemic.
Wow.
That was like a little pandemic skill I learned because I wanted to buy a pair of jeans from somebody, but it was too much. I was fresh out of college.
Right.
I graduated in 2019. And I felt like they was trying to charge like $700 for the jeans. I was like, ooh. Then I was on the phone with my friend. I was like, I want to make these jeans. She was like, you can make them yourself. And I used to play with jeans when I was in elementary school. I used to like bleach my jeans. Philly bleach your jeans.
Yes,
cut them.
I love it. Yeah, we
That was a big thing in Philly.
It was.
And I felt like I was like, I could do this. So I got a thread and needle. She showed me how she be sewing her wigs. So I just like went and did that myself. Shout out to Taylor, by the way.
Yes. Okay, Taylor.
But yeah, so that's what led me into designing. But I wanted to be a creative director before designing. But I didn't really have a resume to show people like, yo. I used to be like, yo, trust me with your brand. I got an idea.
Oh, well, I need you.
But they didn't really listen. We gonna talk.
Listen.
But they didn't see the vision for me at the time. But also, I couldn't sell it to them because I didn't have much to show.
Right.
So that's what made me like, okay, I could do my own business, put the work in for my own brand, and then eventually I can start doing it for other people.
Come on.
So that's how I did it.
Yes.
All right, so what does the name mean? Let's get back to the name.
Diakite Denim.
Yes.
That's my last name.
Okay.
So my name is Ibrahim Iba Diakite.
Wow.
Okay.
It's a popular West African name, actually,
okay,
last name.
Okay.
I don't know the exact meaning to it. I actually did do some research. It's just
What's your lineage, though? Okay, that's
it's like a
'cause I was
culture
where did you
thing.
get
If
the name?
anything, it's a popular name. It means people of honor and stuff like that. So it got something of those type of background to it. But yeah, that's just it. So I took the reason why I named my brand Diakite Denim was because of Rihanna.
Ooh.
She did Fenty. You don't know what Fenty is, but also I used to hate growing up going to the zoos and stuff like that. And y'all probably, I don't know if y'all, you didn't see Ibrahim on the keychain or nothing like that. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
you didn't.
So that
Yeah.
bothered me.
Yeah.
Growing up, like I didn't like that. I didn't have no representation for me.
Come on.
So I wanted to do Diakite Denim, and it's funny because I see some people sometimes they're like, "Yo, that's my mom last name," or this. That. I was like, "Oh, like that's decent."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That representation connect with people that way.
No, yeah, I agree. Yeah, because
it.
my oh my goodness, my name is on every keychain everywhere, but my sister's wasn't. Like my sister's
Wow.
name is Shantae.
Okay.
But Brittany, everywhere you go, it's a Brittany.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
That's a common name in America, you know?
Yes.
So it was just like, sometimes I was like, I want to bring my culture here somewhere somehow. You know what I'm saying? We hear these big European names and stuff like that. Everybody know how to say all these labels names, but we don't know how to say other, culture names too. So I feel
Exactly.
like that's important.
It
Yes.
is.
To just see from different cultures and connect with them all.
Yeah, and it's in a way where it's like not being forced on people,
Yeah.
but it inquires them to ask more questions
And they want to
become
know.
knowledgeable. So yeah,
And it's funny because I used to get made fun of my last name all the time growing up. Yeah. Well, kids is mean. So
Yeah.
they used to be like Diakite, da. Like they used to say it wrong when growing up, but then when I got to college, I was like, man, I don't like Diakite. I want them to say my actual name. It's not
Right.
that hard,
Yeah.
I feel like some people be acting lazy towards when even Ibrahim, people are like, oh, that's hard. No, it's not.
Right.
yeah.
It's not.
But you know what? But you know what? When you tap into other, do you speak a different? Like, do you speak?
I
your
speak
native-
Bambara.
That's your native language.
That's my native tongue.
Right.
Mhm.
So when you learn different languages, you realize that American language is lazy. Like the American,
very lazy.
It's very lazy. So to speak other languages or pronounce other things, you get what I'm saying? Like, no, we're lazy.
Yeah, and I feel like
complicated.
sometimes it's like, I don't know. I just feel like some people don't like to put the effort in to learn. Like sometimes you might get somebody's name wrong the first 3-4 tries if
Right.
you never heard of it,
Right,
unfamiliar with
right.
it. But I feel like if I respect you enough, I'm gonna make sure I get your name right. I don't care how long it take me to say it, and I'm gonna say, "Oh, excuse me if I say your name wrong, but I want to say it right, and I want to learn." So I feel like Ibrahim is not that hard.
Yeah.
When people used to say that, I was like, "It's not that hard,"
Right.
but yeah,
No, English is like I said, like it's a lazy tongue. Like, cause when I like when learning Arabic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's totally different. Like
tear you up.
I'm like, you gotta have wind. You better sit up straight. You need to.
You gotta roll the R and all that.
Listen,
Brit is all about like your tongue gotta be down when you say the A, and I'll be like, okay.
The imam used to tell me when I used to go to Arabic, so he'd be like, yo, your tongue is horrible. He'd be like, but Allah's gonna bless you. Your tongue is horrible.
But you know, it might be whatever you, because I listened to a Sudanese reciter, and I love him. Oh, his name is Noordin.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I love his recitation. Like I'm like, you know what I mean? Because usually we're taught to, listen to like Arabs and stuff like that. But I love Noordin, like, and he's Sudanese, and it's just something about his tongue, like his tongue, that native tongue. But yeah.
But you're definitely right. The English language is like a breakdown of other languages and just made into their own words, basically. So that's why it's so lazy.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you though too, like, how did you come up with the concept of denim for your brand?
I think it just happened. It wasn't even more so like, oh, I really went on my way to figure out. I think it's just like, oh, I'm doing custom patchwork denim.
Okay.
And people are inquiring orders about patchwork denim. So it just happened to, I don't know, play off a Diakite denim. And I like denim a lot. I always, it's funny because I look at throwback pictures of myself. I'm always in a denim set or something like that. So when I was like, maybe this was really my calling, I just never knew. Because, sometimes we don't be noticing some stuff until later on, and we look back at our childhood experiences like, wait, the answers is already there. And I just had this conversation with my friend Binta. Sometimes we already know the answers, we just don't know it until we're really in it. So it was just funny that I always loved denim. Blue was my favorite color growing up too. So it was just like, it just happened to Diakite denim, DD. So I'll be like double D's or something like that. I like the play off of that.
No, that's really dope. Especially how like with the patchwork that you do, you'll have different shades from the light to the dark. And even with the bag that you brought in today, I love that brown because it matched with the whole outfit too. Like, come on now. Here we go. Come on now. He came through color coded and everything. I love that though. But like, was your main focus with bags or just doing any type of denim when it came to clothing? And
the bags came after. The bags I didn't release the bags until 2022, and I started in 2019.
Okay.
So it was just the jeans, but then I was like, okay, I got to elevate the brand because not everybody gonna want jeans all the time. So it was just more so expanding the brand when I added the bags in there. I did tote bags, and then I started making these puffer bags. And then now eventually, I'm about to drop a new bag eventually just sometime this summer too.
Stay tuned, y'all.
Because I know a lot of people have been like saying like, oh, I want something with zippers. So we about to see what I'm playing with or whatever. Just something that's like real calm, but like a nice little shoulder bag for the ladies.
Okay.
Yes.
But like, I'm gonna put that out there soon.
Yes. All right.
So when you make, are you making everything yourself, or do you have like a manufacturer?
So I'm not making. I am making everything myself, but I do have a partner that helps me. Her name is Alize. Y'all met her at the Papa Shop. She was with me.
Yeah.
Oh, she was okay.
Yep. She helped me with the bags.
Okay.
So she actually taught me how to sew on a sewing machine.
Okay.
So we ever since then we've been doing the bags together. We created a whole system. I do the first half, she do the last half.
Perfect.
Like we got a whole rollout system for us to make it work. I feel like with a manufacturer, I would love to take that route one day when a bigger higher demand for the book. But for the most part, I feel like we're able to make it work with just us two.
Right.
Because I do know if it get manufactured, I'm going to have to charge more.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to do that. And I feel like also it might be a lot at the moment right now. I want to enjoy what I'm doing because I know at one point in time I'm not going to be able to feel this much connected with my customers, with my brand and stuff like that. It's going to be a point in time I'm going to have to pay people to do it for me and stuff like that. So it's a lot sometimes because I do work a 9 to 5. I do have this business and I do have my creative director and I still have my own personal life to live.
Right.
But you know what? I just feel like I've decided to dedicate my 20s to just grinding and doing what I gotta do in order to get myself out there. I just turned 28 in March.
Okay. That'll be 28. I'm gonna say no.
Y'all look like y'all in your 20s.
I'll say that. Thank you.
Y'all look like y'all in your 20s.
Yes. But no, I really like that though, that you still want to have that connection with your customers because I know for some people, a lot of times they can get burnt out with something like that. So definitely having somebody that can help you and can see your vision and wants to create towards that, that's an amazing thing to have.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I feel like it's important too, especially with the brand that I don't have. One day I had to accept the fact that I don't have a regular brand. As in like I'm putting out a bunch of t-shirts and selling out a bunch of hoodies and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm actually making these pieces myself, you know, and I can't compare myself to these people because I feel like I have slow seasons a lot too. I have good seasons, I have slow seasons, but I feel like I really have a great season in the summertime because that's when people want custom pieces. Oh, I want to wear jeans to this. I'm going to a cookout. I need this custom order. I make mainly custom pieces, you know what I'm saying? Other than the bags you can get it anytime, all year round. But overall with the other, you know, the denim jean jackets, the skirts, the shorts, pants, whatever, like I feel like that comes and goes in a sense. That's why I wanted to expand. And I eventually, you know, did release t-shirts as well. I know you got one for your son. And then I'm definitely going to eventually get to a point where I could do other stuff too.
Yes.
I want to, my goal is to get the beginning of everything was to be a luxury streetwear brand. So I'm trying to go back to that.
Okay.
And like make one-on-one custom pieces like dresses, blazers, just high fashion stuff that you can see that you can use in everyday streetwear life too. So that's the goal, to get back to that.
Okay.
I love that though. And my son, he loves the shirt.
Oh.
He actually, when he seen it and then I showed him your page, he was like, so you gonna get me the jeans and a jacket? Because I was telling him about the jean jacket I seen at that time when at the pop-up shop. So he was like, you ain't give me nothing else? I was like, I got you.
Soon coming. I'm glad he loved the shirt.
Yes. That's really dope.
Thank you.
What would you say, like, is your biggest push and your motivation for you to do the things that you do with not just the designing, but the creative directing? And
I think it's because I'm passionate about it. If anything, that pushes me the most because I really have an eye for it. And I feel like I know what I'm doing. And I'm doing something a lot of people, I'm not gonna say a lot of people aren't doing, but you're not seeing the amount of quality that I put into my work out there as much. Especially, I'm gonna say in Philly, for example, I feel like a lot of people feel like, oh, well, I need a couple $1,000s in order to put out a high quality project. No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? You could turn nothing into something. You know, even growing up, I don't know. You know, you go in the house, ain't nothing there, ain't no food in the kitchen, but you could probably find some things like, oh, I'm gonna make a meal out of this.
Exactly.
I'm one of them people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like it's about if you're dedicated, if you're passionate, if you're motivated, if you really care about it, you're really gonna do what you love, no matter what. You're gonna do what it takes to get to where you gotta go. So I feel like I like to tell myself to be patient and just be consistent with what I do. And don't give up because my time will come when it happens, you know? Because I know some people be like, oh, like, you're so underrated. But I don't like hearing that sometimes because I feel like it makes me feel like less a little bit, even though I know that's not what they mean. But I just feel like my time gonna come when it come. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in a rush to get to the top. I feel like a lot of people who make it to the top real fast, they come right down.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna grow and get to where I gotta go. And when the time is right, I'm gonna be in that position. You know?
And you know what? You're gonna be in those spaces where, like, you're gonna be in the right place at the right time. And as long as you continue on doing the work, like, my favorite saying is that I always say, even like it's to myself first and foremost, but I really say it a lot to my daughter, is proper preparation prevents poor performance. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you're properly prepared for something, you get what I'm saying, it's going to prevent that poor performance. So it's like somebody, you know, right now, if they called you and was like, listen, I need you to come to New York Fashion Week. You get what I'm saying? And you like, well, I'm not even prepared. Yeah. But the more that you're working and you know what I mean, you're doing and you're consistent, by the time when that time comes, you're going to be prepared for that moment. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm a firm believer that also, like, you know, even when outside of our podcast, you know what I mean? Like, we've been doing this for 4 years, and it's just like, you know, even somebody was just like, well, how many followers y'all have, and how many? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm not keeping count of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you gotta ask Cook. But you know what I'm saying? I know we've been on for 4 years, and we've had quality guests on our show. So whether we had 1 million views, whether we had 10 views, we still had quality. You know what I'm saying?
And it's gonna pick up when it's supposed to come.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And not only that, but I always say, like, first and foremost, like, nobody is doing what we're doing.
Exactly.
Like, there's no other female podcast in the city of Philadelphia that I know of. You know what I'm saying? Clock it. Shout out to Mina.
Wait, y'all, hold on.
Shout out to Mina.
So I just learned on TikTok, y'all doing it the wrong way.
Oh, we doing it the wrong way. I was this way. Okay. Shout out to Mina. Clock it. But yeah, so it's like, and that's always my mindset. Like, we're the best. We're the best.
Yeah, and you should always feel that. You should be confident in your brand and what you do and everything. Exactly. And it's not about trying to make nobody else feel small.
No,
this is what I'm doing. I should feel good about myself. You know, because at the end of the day, this is life to you. This is something you care about. This is what you're passionate about. And at the end of the day, I mean, I don't do the competitions and stuff like that with people, but I feel good. You know, I'm in my lane, my own. I'm creating my space for myself. At the end of the day, I should walk around feeling like I'm that me. I'm that girl, no matter what.
Period.
And if other people who want to feel a way about it, that's something they gotta work on within themselves. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because other bosses, other people who are confident, go hype you up, right? Be like, yeah, I know that's right.
Right.
They would never feel intimidated by that. At all. You know? So
they don't want to hide. They don't want to dim your light.
Yep.
No.
They don't want to hide
because they don't gain nothing from it.
I always say this: all main characters could stand out together no matter what, without stepping on anybody's toes. Exactly. I feel like. And this is, I don't want to say like, you know, I don't think like this, but I feel like people who are mad at certain stuff, you're a background character in your world. And maybe you might need to step it up some to put yourself in the main character position.
Come on.
You're a background character. In your own story. You know what I mean? In your own story. That's deep. That's deep.
Listen.
Yo, no, but that I like that though, because you don't give off the energy that you looking to compete with anybody else. You definitely give off the energy that you're in your own lane, and it's the same energy though every time I've come across you at the pop-up shops with you. And I'm super grateful that I have gotten to meet you, and even like just sitting here now knowing these little things about you and how you started your journey as well too. It shows. Like,
I appreciate that. I want to say I appreciate you even saying something about my energy being consistent, because I'm big on that. I feel like I don't like meeting people that's wishy-washy. Like one day they real nice and, you know, interacting with you in a certain way, and the next time you see them it's like standoffish or something. I'm big on being consistent no matter where I go. I don't care what I'm going through. I might be down on the inside, but that got nothing to do with you.
Right.
So I'm going to show you the best me is, and that's all I could do. You know what I'm saying? So thank you. I appreciate that. That's something I take, like, I'm big on that. Trying to just make sure I show people the same me all the time. No matter who you are.
Yeah. Energy is a big thing. And it's like, it's something that can be felt. And in a way, it's something that can be like seen already. You can check somebody's energy like as soon as they walk into the room. And I've always been like somebody who's like observant of that, even like noticing my own energy and just being able to understand it a little bit more, so I don't close myself off from people. Because I've always, Britt knows that too. Like sometimes I feel like if I give a little bit too much energy and I don't have those boundaries, I'll go in my little hole, you know?
Yourself.
Yeah.
She definitely.
No, y'all have great energy, though.
Thank you.
Thank you. We definitely. It's the work. It's and it goes back to like healing and what does that look like? You know what I'm saying, for us, and it's just like, you know, like Cook said, like we're just big on energy and reciprocated energy, and it's always like whatever you put out. You know what I mean? Saying like we try to put out as much great energy as possible so we can get that in return. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times, even with just people are not willing to receive that, and that's fine. You know, it's fine too. But just like you said, like no matter what I'm going through, like as long as I put out that great energy and I could just show up to be who I need to be. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost for myself. You know what I mean? And then showing others, and you know what I mean? That's on you.
And that's the one thing I always prayed on is, you know, God, because I feel like I dealt with a lot of mean people, and I always felt like, why are they mean? Why are they like this? You know what I'm saying? I've been nothing but nice to them. And I feel like I went through a lot of friend groups, or I just met a lot of people that just didn't treat me right. And I'm like, yo, I've been nothing but nice to these people. Why are they like that? But I feel like, you know, when I prayed about it, I'm like, yo, God, just help me keep myself be the way I am. Because at one point in time, I was like, I'm going to just treat people how they treat me. But it's like, no, that takes a lot of energy out of you. That doesn't make you you. You know, you start to lose yourself in that, you know? And I feel like I just prayed to him, like, yo, please help me just be content with who I am. Surround me with people that are like me. Introduce me to people that are like me, that's willing to receive. And you know what? Those that don't want to receive that energy from me, that's fine. Let me know when to take a step back, because maybe that's a boundary of theirs that they don't want right the moment. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they're going through something, and it's not something against me. They're just going through something personal, you know? So that's how I try to look at things now, for the most part.
But you know, prayer is I do it's crazy, because I tell people that all the time. Like, I'm like, you know, pray about your friends. Like, pray about, you know, asking God to send you the people that you need to aid you on your journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, my biggest thing, like, even in my business was like, I don't have a team. Like, I need a team. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to definitely talk, because I need you. Like, seriously. You know what I mean? So, and even just stuff like that, where it's just like, me knowing about what you, but just like, oh, okay, you're a creative director. Like, I need you. Even if you can't, you probably can assist me to whatever, but that's the whole purpose. And I believe in the importance of, number one, energy, and connection, and also just praying, like asking God to send you those people to aid you on your journey. You get what I'm saying? Like, we probably can't be teammates, but you can aid me on my journey. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm
direction on this. What you need help with? What do you want to elevate with your brand?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And give you advice on that.
Exactly.
Yes.
So like, I'm a firm believer of that, and God will send you those people. Like, you know what I mean? And He will remove the people that are not for you. Like, I pray about that too. Like, listen, if they're not for me, remove them. Like, if there's not, if it's not, beneficial. And when we talk about like relationships, like, yes, they must be beneficial. You get what I'm saying? And it's not in a sense of like usury, but we're always talking about like that reciprocated energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't always say like, I don't pour into anybody. Like, you get my overflow. So whatever I'm pouring into, you can have my overflow. You get what I'm saying? Because what I'm pouring into myself, baby, is, you get what I'm saying?
I like that.
So that's what you're gonna get. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, I'm a firm believer of that. Like, I'm like, listen, send me people that is going that like you said, that's going to give me what I'm giving.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if anything else, I don't got it in me. If you can't, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Hello. You know what I'm saying? But when you get here, okay, fine. But other than that, like, we just don't have it in it. We don't have it. And I think life is too short.
It is.
To be concentrating on stuff like that. It's like, either, like you said, figure out what's going on with you, what's the process, and how can we grow? How can we grow and move forward and just be our creative self?
I always say that. I feel like one thing I put in my prayer every day is, I want to be better than I was yesterday. I want to be a better person every day, because we all make mistakes. We're human, so we all go through what we go through, and we're not perfect, but my goal is to be better.
Right.
And there's so many ways that I can grow and be better.
Right.
So I feel like that's something that everybody should want to live and follow by.
Yeah.
I feel like that will make things so much better.
Okay. I love that. I love that. So I have a question, because I really feel like you tap into it. What is your personal development like? What would you say that you do? Like, what are you listening to? Maybe what are you reading? Or who is somebody that you may look into that's like a mentor that helps you to be so personally developed the way you are?
That's an interesting question. I don't read books often, y'all. I'm sorry.
So
but
that's fine.
I would love to. I would love to read more books. I feel like it's good for the soul. All right,
be honest.
It's just so funny. It's just funny. I feel like somebody that like helped me with myself is, I'm about to say music. I'm about to go with some music. Okay.
Come on.
So I feel like Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
And I say that just because of the fact that she's somebody that is very confident in who she is. One, my mom is a alpha female, so I feel like women. I look at women as superheroes. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
And I like strong women, strong-minded women, outspoken women. It's just something different about it, and it's just like, I shut up. I'm listening. Like, I'm listening. I hear you. What's going on? Da, da, da. It just makes me, I don't know, the amount of respect that I have for an alpha female, and I feel like that's something that Nicki Minaj has in her. And I feel like in her music, she's very inspirational, and I feel like she doesn't just talk about, being pretty and all that. I feel like it's certain stuff that she went through in her life that I feel like I could relate to in a way, her coming from Trinidad to America. And I remember she got this one verse in her song. She said, I remember when I couldn't buy my mother a couch. Now I'm sitting in the closet and buy my mother a house. You could never understand why I grind like I do. And she's threatening about her siblings.
Right.
And I feel like that's something I follow. You know what I'm saying? I'm working this hard so one day I can put my mom and dad in a nice house.
Yes.
I could take care of my little brothers and sisters and inspire them to do things. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I feel like I just like how she speaks on things and how she manifests things for herself too in a way. But also she's big on religion herself, but I just feel like she just speaks nothing but confidence in everything that she does. And I feel like that's something that's intimidating to other people. Some people are going to hate on that. And I feel like that's something that I went through where people try to dim my light so many times and make me feel down about myself. And I do feel like at a point in time I lost that confidence, you know what I'm saying? But I had to find that again. And I feel like she was one of those people, not the only person, but one of those people that helped me like, nah, you got this. You can believe in yourself. You this person. You that.
And she definitely gonna hype you up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel good. You're gonna feel confident. She's gonna make you feel good. So I feel like that's something that I really admire about her. I feel like my parents too, like just seeing them what they went through. I feel like them, leaving their own country to come to somewhere that's unfamiliar for their children to have a, better future and stuff like that. just always think about that. And I feel like that's something that I want to make them proud. Right. I want to let them know that they came out here for a reason, and you're going to live in their reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure you're in a better position one day. Yeah. And I feel like I want to give them that, or at least see, the success, my success of the things that I've done to like, oh, that's my baby right there. I want them to see that, because I come from a family of people that had a lot of businesses. And I'm not saying they failed, but more so like, they just did business just to do it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't necessarily like, what's the bigger goal here? But I feel like, me, I'm making something of that. Yes. And I want them to see that too.
Okay, vision.
So how do they respond now to like your business and your vision?
In the beginning, they wasn't, well, I'm going to say my mom. I don't really talk to my dad about my creative stuff, but like, if I did, he'd be like, oh, that's nice. Okay. My dad is very like chill. He don't really say much. My mom, she be sighing and all that. She's very like, I don't know how I feel about that. And I'm like, listen, this is what I like to do. But now, recently, like a couple weeks ago or a month ago, I think this was like right before Ramadan, I told her, I showed her some of my work and stuff like that. And she was like, I'm so proud of you. And that made me feel real good, And I appreciate it, because I feel like that's not something that I thought I would hear from her. So I was a little emotional that day. But I was like, oh, I feel good. I feel seen. I feel heard. I feel understood finally, Finally. So even like I had something in the music video, Lola Brooke. I don't know if y'all familiar with her. She's a rapper, and she wore my outfit. Her music video was on Billboard in Times Square and stuff like that.
So Lola, the short girl.
Don't play with it. Don't play with it.
I thought got the deep voice.
Yeah, she feisty. Yes. She's funny though, yo. She's so small. I saw her in person in Fashion Week. She's so tiny, but she's so cute. But she was on Billboard in Times Square with my outfit on, like rapping on the screen. I'm like, it's a big screen. People can see this. Like, this is huge. You know what I'm saying? So I showed my parents that. My dad was like, oh, that's nice. Congratulations. Like, he was happy for me. So it's just nice to see that, because I feel like, yeah, I love what I do, but it's nothing like, receiving it from your parents. Yeah. Like, oh, I like this. I'm proud of you. Because I felt like for a while it was maybe like a disappointment to them. Growing up a little bit, but in the position now, things are much better.
Understood.
And I'm just happy that I'm able to receive that now. Right. So I understand.
And they respect it. Yeah. Because they seen your consistency. They've seen, your discipline. They probably seen your determination of like, no matter if your mom turned her face up, but not, you still continued on. You know what I mean? So I think that plays a part too. I think as parents, because we're parents, that we always want our children to be better than us, right? We always, and then it's like you always see like, okay, listen, I've been down that road. You always want to try to like correct things and just prevent them from, just going down the road or path. And it's just like you said, just hearing that like words of them being proud. But it's like when you see your children, you're like, oh, all right, like okay, they was listening. I'm like, oh, okay, they got some skills. Okay, like they okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just like. As a parent, we just have to see that consistency, because even though you're 28, they still see you as like their child.
Yeah, baby. My mom, she said, no matter how big the problem is, like, you are my baby.
Exactly. So she like, okay, but knowing whatever years that she have ahead of you, you know what I mean? That's what that comes from, because I'm like I'm seeing it with my daughter. Like my daughter's 17 now. You know what I mean? It's just like. Okay. Yep. But she makes great decisions. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like she's doing great things. So I definitely, I definitely understand that. You know what I mean? Even like hearing that from my dad. Like I think I was like 35. My dad finally told me that he was proud of me. Like you know what I mean? Like yeah. So that was it, because I was a little rebel growing up. Yeah. It's a little rocky for me. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so that definitely does. I definitely can relate to it. Like, just finally hearing it. Like, I'm like I feel like
alhamdulillah. Yeah. Like, I'm really
you know what I mean? My dad passed away like 2 years ago. So I'm glad I got to like hear that before you know what I mean? Because that was something that also stuck with me. Like, all right, like, I did come a long way. Like, yeah. And
it's good to hear that. Like, it's good for your soul. Yes. It definitely is.
Yeah. I think with parents too, we also have to be careful just to not put our own hurt, trauma, and projections onto our children. Yeah. And trust, like you said, your daughter's making amazing decisions. And somebody just brought me to the realization, even with my own son, like I worry so much and I'm overprotective of him. But they were like, yo, he's okay. He has people that's looking out for him, and he makes, like, he has good judgment. So that just lets you know, like, he sees, he observes. Yeah. So it's like, all right, let me relinquish like the take back the reins a little bit, you know, and stop trying to be controlling everything, especially because he's getting older too and becoming his own person.
That's good.
So that's definitely
and
something.
I feel like also, I would like to say though, I feel like sometimes you just gotta give yourself grace as a parent too, because I feel like y'all are first time parents. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, and that's something I had to look back and realize about my parents too. I'm their first child. Sometimes you make the biggest mistakes with your first child. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I had to also extend that grace to them, because they weren't perfect. They're not perfect. They're human beings just like us. We all gonna make mistakes. They might not understand something now. They might have to understand it later down the line, but it's okay, you know? Now, it's like, as long as y'all could, you know, talk about it and move forward from it, that's all that matters. And the goal is to be better than we was yesterday.
Right.
So that's
it.
That's
amazing. I love that for you though too, especially to hear that from your mom. And I want to say, I'm speaking this out into existence, because you done already said Lola Brooke had your, you know, your outfit on on the billboard, and you was talking about Nicki Minaj. So the vision is that Nicki Minaj is going to be in one of those outfits at an award show. Inshallah, okay?
You know who I really wanted my stuff though? Rihanna.
Ooh,
that's who inspires me when it comes to fashion.
Okay,
so I feel like she's very like versatile in everything that she does, and like, you know how she's like the blueprint for a lot of trends and stuff like that that's going on in fashion. But and she a Pisces like me.
Okay, yes, I love that though. I love that. A lot of people be on her about music, but I feel like she does better in the lane that she's in.
I feel like you know, sometimes like you outgrow something. I feel like that's probably what it was for her.
She outgrew
and
music.
she probably outgrew it, and she be like, all right, I did it. She got like 9 albums or something, but she been doing it for 10 years. I mean, do you want to do the same thing for that long?
Right.
Especially at the age that she's at. And not saying she's old, but more so like she probably on some, I'm trying to build my family.
Right.
I'm trying to make money without having me have to be doing too much.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's great for when you're younger and you got time on your hands. But right now she got a $1 billion company. Yeah. That's why I feel like people be begging for music. I get it, but at the same time, it's like she put out a lot of great body of work. You know, she's fine.
Just hit replay.
That's it. You'll be fine. Listen, there's all these new artists out here and stuff like that. Go find somebody else, or you go listen to her old stuff. But I feel like she's on a great path, and like, because it's okay to let something go and move on to what's next that's bigger and better.
Come on.
I feel like that's important.
Yes. And that's definitely the goal.
That's the goal.
That is the goal.
I ain't gonna be sitting here hand stitching my stuff no more. Eventually I'm gonna have to give it to somebody. But imagine somebody like, I miss when you used to hand stitch it. I can't do that no more, love. I'm sorry. I'm on to bigger things.
Come on now.
That's it.
Exactly. All about evolution. We talk about it all the time. If it's not growing, it's dead. So if you're not growing, you get what I'm saying? It's dead. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So yes, I'm all for it. No, seriously.
Definitely.
Like, like, you know, like you said, like, do you want to keep doing the same thing? You know what I mean? Like I look at people and I'm like, oh, I was here for 50 years at the job, and I'm like,
still getting the same check.
Come on now.
Like 50 years. Like,
and most of them don't even grow. They don't. They don't grow. They stop at that position. That's it. Right? You know, and there's more out there where they could grow into something that's bigger and better. You know,
and it's no shade. Listen, it's no shade.
No shade. If you comfortable where you at, stay where you at.
I'm gonna say no shade.
But don't be afraid to blossom into something different.
Oh,
come on,
goodness.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because I'm like, you know. Yeah, that's it. Just no shade.
There's I'm not putting no. I just feel like don't put no limitations on yourself. Yeah, that's it. You know, and I think that's what it is. Just don't put limitations to yourself, because I feel like you can handicap yourself to something, and you know, it's like, okay, this is it.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like there's no limits here.
Right,
I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna do everything I want to do. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
Listen, if I like it, I love it. I'm gonna do this.
And I feel like the more you step out of your comfort zone, the more you give yourself more opportunities to experience different things and come into connection with more people. They could open those doors for you as well too.
Exposure.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too, like just being exposed. And, you know, even being exposed even pushes you further to rebrand.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like it puts you in different spaces. So, okay, like, even if you're not prepared, like, okay, like, I gotta get prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in a room. I got an award in March, right? And when I say thank you, and but I was like in a room full of like powerful women. I think we was talking about with Michaela, and this one lady, she was like, "Listen, any room that you step in, like you know, you gotta step in with your posture straight. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, let's sit up straight. But it was like metaphorical, like basically saying like, you know, walk up straight, even if you're not where you want to be, even if you feel as though that you don't belong here, you do belong here because you're in the room. You know what I'm saying? But also just walk with that confidence and with that conviction of knowing that, okay, listen, like, okay, I might not be where I want to be. I'm on the journey and the process of where I want to be, and I'm surrounded by women who are like, all right, it's okay. Sit down. Fix yourself. Like, they're fixing you. You know what I'm saying? And they might not even know you. So I was just like, this is exposure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, this is, once again, you know what I'm saying? I prayed for this. I prayed for God to send me, you know what I'm saying, people on my journey. And I'm in a space full of women that are like, you better go. You know what I mean? What's going on with you? Like, take it up. Or I need you up there. Or they're going to push you in that position. And even if you do stumble, even if you do, you know what I mean? I ain't going to say fall, because we won't fall. But, you know what I mean? If you stumble a little bit.
You might trip a little bit.
You might trip a little bit. You know what
but you got people there to help you up.
Exactly.
You know
or catch you right before you fall.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're just there. So I think exposure and pushes you to be better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just you, like I said, like if you know, like you being with Lola Brooks, or you just doing whatever, like that exposure is going to push you to, even going down to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you've been down there before, but
I've been there.
Oh, you did? Okay. But I'm just saying, even whatever that setting is, that might lead you to somewhere else.
Yeah, because that's actually the opportunity that I got, and there's going to be like 10,000 people there. You know, so that's 10,000 people that's going to be able to see my brand, and inshallah, most of the day I sell out. You know what I'm saying? But to piggyback off of what you were saying too, I feel like a community around you is what's important. I feel like that's something that's recipes that we're losing today. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have communities no more, don't want to connect with people in a certain way no more. You know, everybody want to be to themselves or clicked up in certain ways, but it's important to have a community because we help each other grow. We water each other. We lean on each other when we're down. You know what I'm saying? When we're going through something, we got each other. We can uplift each other. I feel like that needs to come back. That's what's missing from humanity right now.
And I think that I'm sorry, Britt, to cut you off. What I was going to say, you mentioning that's what comes to mind when I see you have the pop-up shops and to see y'all there. Y'all are y'all's culture is very big on staying together.
And that's what it is too. Their culture. Like, y'all not us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're us, but you're not us. Right. Because you're culture. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all have culture. Go ahead, Cook. I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good. But that's what I was going to say. Like, that's a very a good example of the community and how y'all come together. And it's literally like, in that room, everybody has their own business, right? But everybody is... The competition, how you mentioned earlier, is no competition. It seems more like family who's just in different lanes, basically in the room, and I loved it.
And one thing I would love to say about Yusuf too, I feel like that pop-up shop, I asked to be in it technically. I didn't even, it was just his solo pop-up shop for his, like, you know, putting stuff out. And I just saw my face on the flyer. So I was like, are you having vendors there? And he was like, let me see what I can do. And then he was like, yeah, bro, you could be a part of it.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, he ain't had to do that because that's just going to be for him. He was like, no, come. And I love how Yusuf like loves to, you know, use his platform and share it with other people too. And he's not very, you know, oh no, it's just my thing. This is my moment. I don't want nobody here with me. He's not like that at all. He's very a sweetheart. And like, I feel like I always tell him that, like, I appreciate him. Like, I call him like my brother. So I feel like he's a very great guy.
Yusuf is all that. I met Yusuf at a book bag drive, and we just been locked in ever since.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
Humble.
Yes.
So I feel like that's something that I love about him, you know?
Super. And I wish that I would see, that's something I would love to see, is more things like that what he puts together within the community. I would love to see other people do that as well too, and give other people opportunities to be able to do that.
But I think that, not to cut you off, I think that comes from that selfless heart, and just knowing, like, I'm not in competition. Like, you know, somebody got to do it. Like, his brand is his brand. You know, it speaks for itself. You get what I'm saying? Like, and, you know, only he can do what somebody got to do. You know, somebody got to do it. You get what I'm saying?
Somebody got to do it. And nobody got to do it. I'm going to do it.
Exactly. So it's just like, but like you said, just him, even at the pop shop, it was other designers there. You get what I'm saying? It was other people that had clothing lines there. Like, so I just think it's just him being selfless and knowing, like, listen, what's for me is for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what God
I'm good. Like, he's secure in his position.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's what a lot of people need to follow. A lot of people don't follow that at all, with being secure with who they are as a person.
They're not.
And building their own foundation. He's been building this for a while, you know? So he's 10 plus years doing this. He good. You know what I'm saying? He got his supporters. And, you know, he got the people that's going to follow up anytime he drops something. People are going to support. People are going to show up anytime, you know? So him extending his platform to other people to come be a part of that that doesn't take anything away from him, and he's not threatened by that,
right?
You know, and I feel like that's something that, I mean, everybody should want to follow in a sense where it's like, yeah, this is a great example to, you know, put yourself in that type of position.
Yeah.
But they don't. It's like you said,
and it's Philly culture, by the way, to be in competition.
It is
grabbing the barrels. That's Philly culture.
Oh yeah,
and it was never like that before.
It wasn't. And so at one point, no, it wasn't. Like you can, you know, you would put people on. We can do it, but it's just like
because it's the city of brotherly love. But that changed.
It changed. When I say, and it's just like, you know, even just being in the spaces that I've been in the spaces of, and it's just like. And I've been in some rooms, not to be, you know, like Eric, but I've been in some rooms with some people, and it's just like, you have a platform, you have this, or you might have the followers, or you might have this, and it's just like, what's the issue of, you know what I'm saying, like having something for everybody? Like, what is it going to take away from you? But it just goes, like you said, it just goes back to like they're not secure within themselves. Even if you got those 1,000,001 followers, you know what I'm saying, or 1,000,000 views, you're just not getting secure with yourself. So it's just like you just want to not expand your platform, or even like just like, hey, listen, let me partner up with you. Let me partner up with you. Like, let's all come together and build off of each other. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got resources, I have a resource, you have this, I have that. Okay, listen. Or, all right, I don't have this, but you know what? Y'all two can connect.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? And then, like, y'all two can connect. And then I might not benefit, but what I benefit off of is everybody in the room connected.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? By off me having an event. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like, we definitely are lacking it. And it's I see it all the time, and I'm just like,
we gotta do better.
We have to do better.
Yeah.
Like, we have to do better. But I mean, at the end of the day, they just not for us, because whoever is for us is for us. Exactly.
It.
So, but yeah, we definitely, I love it. But our community is our community.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
who we meant to attract is who we meant to attract at the end of the day.
Your vibe attracts your tribe. What is it?
Your vibe. Yeah, it is. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So I wanted to circle back, because she mentioned Atlanta, and I know we kind of talked about that beforehand, and you mentioned rebranding.
Yes.
So what does that look like?
No snippet, not everything.
So I'm doing a rebrand for Diakite. So I took a break, y'all. I took a break because I feel like at a point in time I was kind of losing the plot of like what I was really doing this for, and I feel like I've been consistent I just turned 5 years old in October.
Come on, 5.
I didn't even celebrate it.
Not the what was that? It was the breath.
I'm sorry.
I didn't even celebrate it, and I feel like I had a whole plan to celebrate it, but I kind of like just pushed it back because I feel like I was doing so much at the time where it's like, hold on, I need to do this the right way. I can't just put this out. One thing about me, I don't like putting out nothing just because it's me, people gonna like it. No, I want to put out good quality work at the end of the day. So I just pushed it back, and now I took a break, went to career directing route. You know, I just needed some inspiration again. I needed to find out what I was doing this for. Do I really want to do this? Do I want to let Diakite go and do full-time career directing? I don't know. I was in a whole, little space about it, a little funk about it. And, now I'm like, no, I can't let Diakite go because that's my baby.
Come on.
And you know what? That's what opens so many doors for me to do what I'm doing now.
Right.
And you know what? I got to keep this around. And I just needed to reset. So that's why I'm doing this relaunch, because like I said, I want to be a luxury streetwear brand, but I kind of feel like I fell flat into just doing streetwear. There was no luxury side to it at one point, I feel like, and I lost that. So I'm trying to, bring that back, bring back some old stuff that I used to do, but elevate everything, So that's what I'm doing. And for the Atlanta pop-up shop that I'm doing, I'm excited about that because it's going to be about 10,000 people there, and I'm going to be able to showcase my new work, and hopefully I can see what the response is to how they like it.
Yes.
And that would also help me know, okay, this is what people like. I'm going to make sure I got a little more of this. I got more of this, and also still bring something new, because all this is stuff that I'm just being creative with and ideas. So I just want to see how people respond to it, honestly, and see people buy it, and, inshallah they do. And I'm doing a little fashion show and stuff too coming up in June. Right. And I'm excited about that too. So I've been this year. This go back to youth. Last year I started participating in pop-up shops, and Yusuf was the first pop-up shop I participated in. And that whole entire year, 2024, I was in pop-up shop every month, back to back or something like that. And the whole summer I was in every pop-up shop, like here, Jersey, New York. I love New York, by the way. They spend, they shop, they're their own people, and I love it out there. But what I was about to say, I'm sorry. Forgot.
It was like every year I was at a pop-up shop.
Every year I was a pop-up shop. So I feel like me being a pop-up shop got me the experience to just be a little more open and, help me get inspired by me and other people and networking and stuff like that. Now I'm like, okay, now I know what I want to do for myself.
Yes.
And I have to give myself credit. I've been being consistent with what I did for 5 years. I needed this break.
Come on.
Yes.
So, and there's a lot of denim brands out there, and I feel like all of our stuff was starting to look similar.
Really?
And I feel like, I feel like
okay.
it's because I feel like, and this is just, I think this is a natural thing. You see somebody do one thing, I'm gonna try. That gave me an idea, so now I'm gonna try it.
Right.
And then somebody else drops something else. That gave me an idea. I'm gonna try it. And I feel like everybody just kind of was doing the similar stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
We all look the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I even went to a fashion show, and there was like a couple of denim people in there, and I was like, oh, they all look the same. And I don't mean that with no shade, but it's just real.
Right.
I always want to be in a lane of my own to stand out.
Exactly.
In my own way.
Right.
So that's something that I feel like I just need to go back and work on. Get back in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Cook up something new.
I know that's
Perfect
right.
the recipe,
Yeah.
Come on.
Because too many people kept getting close.
Yeah.
Even with my bags, somebody recreated my bag. They kind of added like their own little touch. They added like a little pocket, little coin bag to it, but it was very similar to my, like, it looked just like my bag. But
that's all
Admiration.
Admiration,
it
inspiration.
is. I don't think I received it that way at the time.
I know, and I was about to say that because
I didn't receive it that way at the time. But now I'm in a place where it's like, you know what? I like the admiration. I don't mind it, but I feel like at one point in time I always felt like you should give credit.
No,
but
I
agree.
agree. I agree.
Why you ain't give credit? But
Not
you
even
know
give
what?
credit, like, why can't you do something else?
That's true.
But you know what? I don't mind when people be like, "Hey, can I recreate this?" People DM me before, like, "Yo, can I recreate this?"
Okay.
I'm like, "Yeah," but I don't mind that. I don't even
wow.
mind if you do it on your own. But sometimes I'm like, I don't like what bigger platforms do it to smaller brands or smaller platforms. But at the same time, I've come to a realization that, you know what? In this creative industry, once you put out something, it's free game for everybody to get grabs on it, no matter what. And you know
I
what?
had to learn that too. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I feel like it's about who, and it's not always about who did it first. It's always about who did it best. But at the same time, I'm glad that I'm on your mood board. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I want to be in a position on your mood board. Because I want to be in a position.
I'm on your mood board, baby.
I'm on your mood board because I definitely love inspiring people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's important because we all get inspired by everything around us. You know what I'm saying? Just by sitting next to with you guys, talking to you guys, y'all are inspiring me in ways. You know.
Right.
So I feel like just to be in a position like that, like, I was on your mood board. You definitely had my stuff. Cool. I'm flattered.
Yeah.
And then instead of taking it, instead of being angry, I don't want to be angry about it no more because it's like I'm not getting nothing out of that.
Yeah.
You know. So it is what it is.
No, I wish for some part though that there was a way that you could be able to protect it, just so you could protect your brand a little bit more.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, you got to give a little coin up.
It's a lot of coin behind it. It's a lot of legal stuff, and I feel like being self-taught, self-made is like so much you gotta learn with that, and it takes so much time. And I'm not saying I don't want to do that, but I guess I'm just not. I don't know that knowledge just yet, and I do need to go educate myself about that to put myself in a position where I don't have to worry about those type of things. You know, but no matter what, somebody's still gonna do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Somebody's still gonna copy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say because what they'll do is, like you said, they'll just add their own, you know what I mean, to make it different. But you know, like you said, like, you know, admiration is inspiration, and all it is going to do and challenge you to do is just step it up.
Keep being the blueprint.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's all it is. You know, because at the end of the day, like, they just can't. They can't
do it how you do it.
Exactly. There's no carbon copy.
So many people can create a podcast right now, but they're not going to be able to do it like y'all. They can't bring the vibes like y'all do.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say, what could you say? You can't copy. What you say? What do you
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna have to go. Oh, they can't copy your spirit though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and it's like, oh, y'all like this? Well, wait until y'all.
Now I'm about to do this.
Exactly.
And then it also just starts to show
Only
like,
one, baby.
I feel like
It's only
sometimes
one.
people like, oh, they try to keep up with them. Like people gonna see the truth at the end of the day. And you know what? Even when I took a break, it's some, and I guess I'm not throwing shade, but it's some people that took a break too.
Right. Oh, see, they have no.
I took a break. You took a break.
Exactly.
So you know, when I come back, you might come back then.
Right.
I mean, and it is what it is. But I'm gonna do me at the end of the day because I got what it takes to do what I gotta do. I do it myself. I'm the brains behind what I do.
Yes.
You waiting for me.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So.
I like Don DeMarco.
I like that though. I like that though. So with this rebrand that you're doing, and not without giving too much away, where do you see Diakite in like 5-10 years?
5-10 years.
Come on.
Bigger and better, inshallah. That's all I can say.
All right.
That's all I can say. Bigger and better. Bigger and better.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be manufactured and all that too. But I want to be designing a lot more rather than actually physically doing hands on it. I want to be actually having the whole team and production and stuff.
Come on.
So
it's
definitely.
already there.
Thank you. Inshallah.
I think I might be your first client.
I just made this dress. And it's my favorite piece to date. I can't wait for y'all to see it. Okay. I don't know when I'm going to post it. I just finished designing it last night. But I'm doing the whole little rollout campaign, so y'all will see that eventually. But I can't wait for y'all to see it because I feel like it's the best thing that I've done so far.
No. Oh my goodness. Hold up. Wait a minute. Yeah. And hold on. So also, I wanted to ask you as far as the creative design, because I see you put a whole little setup together for a photo shoot you did yourself, and that like your whole creative imagination went from you like creating that whole background, having the vision of what you wanted it to look like, and then having the actual photo shoot.
Which photo shoot you talking about with the hijabis?
No, the one you recently did. You had your friend and you had the flowers.
For my Eve photo shoot.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So do you get into this stuff on the creative director side?
Yeah. So I'm a creative director. We've been talking about Diakite. I'm a creative director, y'all. So I feel like
let the people know what that is.
My brand name on Instagram is influentially Iba. So most people know me as Iba. And like I said, I want to be a creative director first. And I just have so many. I'm a visual person. Like, and there's a lot of stuff in my head that I can't put down on paper. I just got to put it together, and it just comes to life. That's how it is with my designs. That's why everything is 1-on-1, because I only can make this one time because that's how I felt. But I don't really want to make it again because it's not going to be the same thing,
right?
You know. But when it comes to the photo shoots, I just had I wanted to take some vintage African portraits, and me and the photographer Shakai, shout out to him. I was just like, yo, I want you to take my e-pictures. I don't know what I want yet, but I have this bazin, and I kind of want to do a more so artsy type of vibe with it. And then he was like, all right, let's do it. And then eventually we was just sending each other like inspirations. And we was like, oh, let's do this backdrop right here. I found this backdrop video I found, and they just painted on the backdrop. I said, let's do something like this. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And then we just picked the colors to match with the outfit, because I wanted to do something different from what I normally do. And I feel like that's just how they came about. Now the flowers was a last minute idea, because I just did a flower shoot a couple days before that shoot, and I was like, maybe I could use these flowers in my pictures. Because I go on Pinterest and look at ideas and mood boards, and I create mood boards and stuff. I could show y'all some stuff too. Yeah. But I just be having a bunch of ideas in my head, and I'm like, let me see, can this work with this? Can this work with that? How did it look? And I just envision it, and then fully come to life the day of when we do it. And then even with the editing side, I like to sit with my photographers like, this is what I want. I want it like this. I want it like that. And I just love working with photographers that listen. Because some photographers don't listen to you. They just do what they want to do. But, you know, the few photographers that I work with, they do listen to me, and I'll be like, listen, I like this. And they trust me. I like people that trust me, because, trust me, I'm not going to put out nothing that's terrible or that's corny. Like, I want to put out something that's fire. Something that's going to make other people like, I want to do this too. Yeah. Like I said, I want to create. I always said with the creative directing, I wanted to show Black people in the in the most beautiful light, and I feel like that's something that not always shown. I feel like when you go on Pinterest and you're looking up photo shoot ideas, it's always white people, it's always Asians. I don't never see Black people, you know, and these type of similar photo shoot styles that I'm looking for. So I wanted to be that person that create these things, so people when they're looking up stuff, they'll come across my work, and they can actually be like, oh, I could do something similar to this and turn it into my own. So that's what I'm big on.
I love that.
Thank you.
So make sure y'all tap in with him for that creative director
book me.
side.
Listen,
Come
book
on.
me.
Y'all won't be disappointed, I promise y'all. I'm over here. I was thinking like we gonna have to
get him to do our photo
shoot. Oh, we could do a podcast photo shoot.
Yeah.
We could make something hot with that.
Come on. All right, cool. We got
and listen, I'm all about quality, so it's gonna be like
I'm all about quality.
It's gonna be rich.
Yeah, I'm all about quality also.
We're not gonna do the typical ones that everybody do. We gonna
I don't even know what
out
they
the
do.
box.
Yes. Okay. All right. We gonna talk.
Y'all gonna see that soon. Soon come.
Yes, inshallah. No, that's really dope. I love that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So before we close out, I wanted to just see if you could drop one positive, like something positive on the guests that maybe they could come from something you know now that you didn't know when you were younger that helped you in your journey?
Something positive. Something. I wish I was always, just true to myself and just being confident who I was. I feel like that's something that I do. I don't really have a lot of regrets in life, but I feel like growing up when I was younger, I allow a lot of people to bring me down. And I feel like I wish I tapped in with my confidence sooner, and locked in with myself and just being true to who I was and true to who I am and just be patient. And I feel like, sometimes you may not see the vision right now, but it does come eventually, you know? It takes time. And I feel like God doesn't give you everything you need right at that moment because he do put you through certain stuff in order to be prepared in the future for what you got to go through with that, so in order to handle those type of things. But I feel like just being true to yourself, being humble, being grateful, that gets you far in life. And I feel like don't ever try to fit in with anybody else because it doesn't do nothing for you. You don't benefit from that. You get lost. You start losing the plot. So I feel like, embrace who you are. And there's nothing wrong with being different.
I needed that.
There's nothing wrong with, and I'm pretty sure the way podcast culture is, y'all see so many podcasts doing certain things. And it's like, bro, should we be doing that? Nah, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Keep doing you, because at the end of the day, they gonna get it. They gonna be playing catch up. Y'all ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? So
wait.
Darn the No, seriously.
Yeah. I needed that because the crazy thing is, we always say this. Every time we have a guest, whatever you say or how the conversation goes, it always is in alignment with something that we may be going through in our personal life or whether it's in our businesses. But you saying that, right? You won't believe how many times it's been said to me, like, y'all's podcast should be about this. Y'all should be talking about this, what everybody else is talking about.
I'm pretty sure.
And it's like, that's not substance. Like, that's not something that's going to last, at the end of the day. And we...
Really? They be saying that to you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They don't say that.
And I can only imagine y'all as hijabis too. Like, I feel like everybody platform is so different and using it in different ways, but I feel like a lot of people are taking the same route with just talking about the same thing. You know what I'm trying to say? And just trying to be trendy, trying to get hot real quick.
Yeah,
but I feel like, with y'all, stay doing your own thing. What y'all doing, what y'all got going on works. You know what I'm saying? Even the energy here, I felt really comfortable talking to you guys. And I appreciate it because sometimes some people, when you go to their platforms, they want to do the interview, get you out. They don't really care to interact with you. And yeah, I've been in places like that, and I feel like even people, like, it's just more so a transactional type of thing, but it seemed like y'all like to connect with your guests that's here, and I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't show, and I appreciate that too, and I love what y'all doing. Keep going.
Because relationships are all about connection.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? They're not just like you said. Like, yes, it could be like the transaction is priceless. That makes sense. You know what I mean? So once again, like it's all about that overflow, your overflow, our overflow, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily, superficial.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Agree.
And it's funny because, like I said, I never even, people don't, well, you talk, in the platform and social media.
But they know who they can say.
But I don't even think about that. I just think, that too. I think that too. Because I'm really...
You don't take...
Yeah, I'm really straight to
don't play with me.
I'm still a little passive aggressive. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
No, I used to be like that. People used to say whatever to me at one point in time, but then later on, when you kind of show them, like, don't play with me.
Yeah. And it's increase their boundaries a little bit.
Boundaries, and it don't have to come up with a place of anger or anything.
Right.
It's more so like...
Right.
Oh, people play with you if you allow them to. People talk to you a certain way if you allow them to. But once you start setting boundaries with yourself, and they'll start to see that too, and like, oh, I can't. I'm hesitant about saying this to such and such because I don't know how they're gonna take it.
Right.
And I like that because I want you to question yourself before you come say anything outside your mouth to me.
Come
on,
all the time.
I want you to question yourself.
I need you to
make sure you about to say the right thing.
Okay?
You good?
She good for that. She's so good for that.
And I feel like one thing I noticed about you, you're very kind. So I feel like maybe people see that.
Yeah.
And I'm very kind too. But I think people see that like, oh, I could walk over there. I could say what I want. I could do what I want. No.
Yeah.
I feel like when you just showed them just that one little two.
Yeah.
A little bit, they be like, oh, all right, my fault. I don't want no problem.
Chill.
Yeah. I'm respect.
I'm
you know what I'm saying?
Respect.
And I think that's something that I'm always big about. Respect me, I respect you. That's it.
Yeah. I'm still learning to balance
See me even right here.
Yeah.
And ain't nothing wrong with it. You're fine the way you are. It's just like it's just more so, and that's something like I said I had to learn. You gotta turn it up a little bit, because when you let people play with you, they really will do it.
You're right.
It's at the end of the day, who you can blame but yourself, you know?
At the end of the day. Yeah. At the end of the day.
And we balance each other out.
And that's good. That's good.
We balance
That's good.
we balance.
We need somebody like that,
though. We balance each other right on out, but you know.
My friends be hard bodies. I had to learn from them. Like they be, I'm like, all right, I like that. I'm gonna do that.
She shows me every time we together, and alhamdulillah, I've come across some sisters, especially during Ramadan, that I've made connections with as well too, that they picked up on what you just said too. And we was having a conversation about this one Sunday, and it was about the boundaries thing. It's like, we're working on it, okay?
It takes time, but you'll get there.
Yeah.
You got this. Listen, ain't nothing.
Yeah.
It's not.
Listen, I think we all have ways. Like even with my band, like we all have things we can work on
and strengthen.
And strengthen. You know what I'm saying? In different aspects of life, because where she might be, it might be a challenge for her. It might not be a challenge for me. But in areas that in my life they're a challenge, they're not a challenge. They're not a challenge for her. So we, like, because
somebody could be like, "Oh, she mean, you nice one," but you never know.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? And that's, I'm not saying you're mean, by the way. I'm just being an example. But I'm just using an example. You're not mean at all. But to some people, they were like, But it's like it's not a bad thing. It's just more so. Like, working on that boundary.
Yeah. And I love it. And I love, like I said, I love our balance. Because, like I said, we balance each other out. We really do.
And you'll learn so much from each other, too.
It do.
You know?
It do. Yeah.
And those are the type of relationships that you need in general. Like I said, community.
Yes.
That's my word for this. Accountability and community is my 2 words this year.
Okay.
That's something I'm big on.
I'm here for that. Definitely big on that accountability part.
Yes.
That plays all into the integrity. Yes.
It gets you far in life.
Does.
Because sometimes you can be like, listen, I'm wrong. Okay, whatever. I ain't about to argue about it. I'm wrong. My bad. I'm sorry.
Right.
Well, not even.
Even if I'm wrong or what, it don't even got to be wrong, but.
Well, no, being wrong. No, like you said, yes, I'm wrong. Okay, so let me fix it.
Exactly.
Let me fix it.
Put the action behind it.
Because that's what it is. Because we can stay all day like, I apologize. I know I was okay, and
how we
going to do better? Because words is just something, but actions means a lot more.
It does. They carry so much weight.
I posted a video yesterday where Inky Johnson was basically talking about.
You know who he is?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
As soon as we done.
Yeah.
But he was just basically posting like the action behind when you say things like that. Like, I'm sorry, like you have to put the action behind it, because with the action that you put it's a verb. So if you're not really acting on it, then it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
So that's very alignment.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah. All the time. I love this. Thank you. We value you so much. One, for agreeing to share this space with us, and then also being like comfortable to be transparent and share what you shared.
Thank you.
Because not everybody is like that, you know. And we definitely, that was one of our main goals, to be able to create this space for any of our guests that come on here to be comfortable enough to share their experiences, because you never know who this could touch for somebody else that wants to be in the lane that you're in, or could be in a different lane, and this could still inspire them to do what they want to do.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Where they're fighting to even get that respect from their family, you know what I mean, get that respect from the community, or just even having to fight just like, okay, like who am I as a person, you know what I mean, trying to be in this lane, you know. And I think that plays a part also, where it's like, you know, like you said, the first thing you said was like healing to you is just being true to self, you know what I mean. And I think sometimes we are, I'm not gonna say tainted, but we're our perspective is made from like our culture, you know what I'm saying, society, and also how we view ourselves, and how we view ourselves can be from society and our culture, you know what I mean, or tradition or family, and it makes it hard for people even understanding like, what is my truth.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like when we say that also, like, okay, yes, like, you know, being true to self or speak my truth, but what is that sometimes? You know what I'm saying? Because we have these views. I was taught this, I was heard this, I believe this, even though I don't agree with none of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, all right, what is my truth? Yeah. So, you know, we definitely appreciate.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Like you're all of that.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And I appreciate y'all for having me. It means a lot to be here with you guys. And, you know, I'm proud of you guys. Keep doing your thing. Keep inspiring. Keep being true to yourselves and do what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everybody going to be tuned in and just, this is going to be bigger. Yeah. This is going to be big, you know? So definitely keep going.
Oh, wait. She
learned, y'all. She learned.
She learned the buttons, but listen, she did a great job. You know what I'm saying? Let's give applause to them. Round of applause to both of them. This is a great interview.
So, another thing before we tap out, where can people follow you at on Instagram?
So I got 3 Instagrams.
Okay.
Get ready. Get your pen and paper.
I got 3 Instagrams. I got my own personal Instagram. I'm a content creator, y'all. So, you know, I'm also into fashion. So my personal Instagram is its.ibaja. It's its.ibadia. Yes. Second one, Diakite Denim. Diakite Denim. That's my brand page for my denim. And even y'all can get a bag. You know what I'm saying? I got a website, diakitedenim.com.
I'm going to show them the bag.
You know, here y'all go. Oh, wait, the camera right here.
Yeah.
And my Instagram on, I'm not spelling this one because it's actually a little long.
Okay.
Influentially Iba _ That's my career directing page. If you have a business, if a brand, if even personal photo shoots like birthday photo shoots, maternity shoots or anything, I'm your guy for that. Check out that.
Okay, yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. It's Germ's friend's mom. But yes, make sure y'all follow him, y'all. And thank you again for tuning in for another episode of Tribe Talk Tuesdays. With that being said, we will catch y'all next Tuesday.
See y'all.
Peace out.